Hello boys, it's your boy Wiffy back again with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at some games. So today we're going to be VOD reviewing. I don't usually do these series and type of videos. This is going to be more of a raw cut video. I'll put some editing in there, you know, to try to make the video shorter, but we're going to be taking a look at one of the games for my endgame highlights video. We're going to be highlighting spacing especially. So this is my endgame highlights like file where I just have the games, no editing. And right here, so this is our first game. This is just with a fill. I'm going to be doing one with our actual trio here. So if we just keep going real quick. So let me try to find the place right here. All right. So here, let's start it. So let me turn the volume down. So here, we're rotating into zone. So here we have a rift. I'm just going to make it point out that here we have a rift. We're rotating in. And you guys see, okay, here. Let me pause right here and show you guys. This is something that I see nobody do. You see these cones? They're in brick. So these cones up here, let me see if I can pause them. Yeah, so here, notice how I go from wood, right here, I'm using wood, and I switch to brick. Because I see these guys are looking at my teammates too. As you can see by the minimap, they're a little bit behind me, nothing crazy. And I put the cone up here. Now this blocks them. Now they can't look down at us, since we're going to go low ground. If you guys don't hear the comms here, I comm that we can play low ground here since we have a rift. So we were like right here in zone. So we were like, you know what? We can just walk in. It's kind of free. I just got to block off this team. So I put the cones up there. And look how I spam. I'm not afraid to waste mats. And then here I keep putting these cones down. And then boom. We box up. We're good. So here I hold. We box up. And then here, I instantly extend out here. It's important that you make space, especially in trios. We have a rift. We can waste mats. I wouldn't say we need a refresh specifically, but we definitely... We're okay on mats. So here my teammates cap me on mats. This is just something we do. Whenever I'm low on mats, since I'm usually the torper, the one who's building the most, they usually just cap me on hards if they can. So here we're just chilling on low ground. This is something really good about Riftfish. As you can see, we have kills. So we have a lot of surge. Ended up being 1,000 above moving. So something really important that you do here, especially if you're a rift, don't be afraid to play low ground. Not only can you get some refreshes, but it's actually free if you can play together with your team. So as you can notice here, we're just playing low ground freely. We're not really worrying about anything because we already have surge. Especially if you're a rift. If you have shockwaves, what I would have done is that maybe would have gone up a few layers. Because here, I still have a shockwave, but we're going to use the rift for moving anyway. So, but let's say we didn't have the rift fish, I would have gone up a few layers and then set up a bouncer shockwave for the next zone. But since we have a rift, we're allowed to play low ground. And we have surge. I don't really recommend this if you don't have surge, since yes, you can get a box fight in, but those are a lot risky. You can just box up and get tags. But here, the only reason I boxed this up here is because we don't really need surge. But yeah, let's keep going. You really have to be thinking about surge often in your games. I see a lot of console players not really focus. So here, we're talking about a plan here. You see how we don't need surge, we're all low ground. Here we're talking about a plan where we need to take high. What's our plan gonna do once we rift fish? And here, if you guys don't hear my comms, but I'm like, here, we're just gonna rift this and try to play mid ground since we don't have a lot of mats. And if height is free, we'll take it. So we're always planning. You guys have to be planning. I see so many teams who just don't plan. So here we're just chilling, and we're looking. So yeah, what I was gonna say. So Albert says mid ground. So here I see this guy, and I calm it to my teammates. You guys don't hear my comms, unfortunately, but I try to pickaxe the wall. I don't take it. I'm like, just back off. Don't force it. And then here they hear this, and then here. This is something important. So they hear that there's somebody here. They calm it. Really nice and well done. But look at what I'm doing here. They're already spraying. I spray a bit, but then I put these builds down. These builds up here might not seem like nothing crazy important or anything, but it is crucial that you put those builds, because then we could get the team that was behind us back here. Remember the one that I put the code above? They could spray them and they could kill Inbox. Inbox and Albert are already shooting at this guy. I don't need to help them out. They're 99% going to win the fight. So we just need to, right now, I'm just focused on protecting, and then obviously I hold my charge out, try to help out. They already kill him once I shoot him. And then here. And look how we try to carry back the body. This is something important you can do. Don't keep the loot over there. It's not good. But this guy ended up being so stacked on heals. Like, look at this, bro. This kid was stacked. So here I drop on big pots. Drop it to my teammates. Make sure your teammates are healed before you rift. This is something I don't see often. If you have like 60 blue and you have a big pot, just pop it before you rift. It's just to play it safe, because sometimes, you know, team out of the air can beam you, and staying in the air with a rift is super strong, so you don't really want to ruin that, right? So Here, we're just chilling, talking. Here, I make sure I get some of the stuff. Check out if there's no extra loot. And here, we have a nice tarp. Look at our spacing. This is something I want to talk about. Look how close our spacing is throughout this whole time. We're always next to each other. And even when Albert looks at this, I immediately go to him. Now, that was, I think, a mistake from Albert because he wanted to go. He saw a possible kill. But look, we're already 1.2k above surge. We have good mats. We don't need to go for this. I was actually calming. No, just rift. I guess it was okay to go for it since we ended up popping the rift just fine. But you guys have to notice how close we're together, always getting these refreshes. This is something a lot of teams, we're just often together. This is something really strong. So here we rift, and I immediately tell them to glide. And the second we start gliding, this is something we start looking at height. Although I wouldn't recommend taking height every single time you rift, especially we already have so much surge. We can just play mid ground. You have to look at it because if it's free, you can take it. Like it is a very good thing. Height. We ended up getting second this game because of that. So here we got max mats. We're just gliding. So what I'm thinking here is that I want to try to stay in the air until second moving so we can glide ahead of second moving and just start full tarping because we'll have max mats. So something that I just do here is that I tell them just to glide, don't dive down, because you notice this is kind of an uneven terrain. This is like, let's say zone pulls like into the water over here. We want to be like as prepared as possible, you know. So here we keep going. Mark zone as always. So that zone. So here I'm thinking we have to land up here. We can't land low ground. We always want to stay on a mid ground layer. When you have mats in your rift, you should always land on a high mid ground layer. So here I said the high team looks good, but they're not really that good since they're getting griefed. But whenever you see a team fighting for height, don't go on it. Just don't. Unless they're like back a zone and you can take it forward, just don't. It can ruin your game so easily because the things kids will do for height, it's just insane. So I would definitely not recommend just like going it. So here we're waiting. We have 10 seconds. We have 6. So yeah, here they're build battling. They're kind of claiming it. This is weird. So here 3, 2, 1, and here I'm just waiting for zone. And then boom, I see zone pulled towards the bridge, and I immediately tell them to get under these builds. And see how I immediately switch to brick, and here, and we start going. So here I notice that it doesn't go above the bridge, so we gotta start going across. We can't stay on the bridge, unfortunately. And now something I want to point out here, it's really laggy. So look how I'm taking my tarp still. I want you guys to notice my tarp. So I'm the tarper in my team, and it's important that I'm always staying ahead. Look how I'm right here. Let me get rid of my inventory real quick. We're the most team ahead, so we're just trying to stay ahead. And I'm trying to full tarp since we have max mats. So here we just keep going. Boom, boom, bop, 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 bop. So here we keep going. Look at this full tarp. Something that you notice, I'm not putting walls in between our tarp. That's a waste of mats. I see a lot of people do that mistake. We keep going. Boom, and I kind of cut in here. This is just because you want to try to cut in, and here I think I want to go up here just in case it pulls wide, but then I get intercepted. And something you have to do, you don't have to force things. I just keep going low ground. And then here there's a team. This is something you can do if you piece control the roof and you just put a stair there, you can just get through. And here I actually call out to my teammates, get to me. This was something I wanted to talk about today, spacing. So as you notice here on the minimap, we're pretty close to each other. But what's more like, I'm really ahead of the tarp, and Albert and Inbox are just staying back, looking for kills, because kills are pretty. This FNCS point format, it's placement, but kills are definitely gonna be worth your time. So right here, they're staying back because I have a fat full tarp. There's nobody near us. We can definitely. But here, once we start getting closer to teams, and we're kind of in this more scuffed low ground play, I tell them to get together. This is something that I see a lot of people mistake with. They always talk about how you have to stay really close to your team all the time, but this is actually a mistake. Your spacing should depend on the situation. For example, I'm gonna give a quick example for here. Let's say Fortnite.gg. So this is like the map. Let's say you had Sweaty Sands and the team. So and you need Storms and you're going near Holly. Let's say a zone is something like this, and you know there's a team Holly, and you need Surge. Something I would recommend is that here, draw a marker. So let's say your team's around here. Something I would recommend is that you keep like I wouldn't say like that much, but you keep like a 25-foot distance in between your team. So here, let's say that these are the three of you right here, and they're the square right here. This is a team right here, and they're all next to each other. The second you see them right here, you're gonna be like, oh, we need. And when you look for storm surge, it's crucial because let's say this team right here, they find F right here. This is, let's say, Billy Bob Jr. right here, and they see these, so they think the full team is right here. But since this guy right here is over here, what he could actually do is that he can just try and turn around back here and look for a flank. This could get a headshot snipe. This guy usually should be the one with the sniper. This one should be baiting peeks, doing stuff. You always want to, in mid game, you always want to stay like a good, not really close together. And then when you're fighting in these close range scenarios, you want to get really close together. It's all about spacing. So if we go back to our VOD review here, as you notice, they're more far back at the tarp. But when we get into these close range box fight situations, we're trying to stay together to double pump people. So that's just something I want to point out. So here we're in, but notice how I still go in more. And I'm still wasting my mats. I know we have a lot of mats. We have to waste mats and make space for ourselves so we can have angles. So as you can notice here, they're moving up in the tarp, and now we're all together. This is when I tell them we have to stay together. We have to play mid ground here. So here, they try to get some tags, and look how we don't cycle. We have mats, and here I get them to drop me some mats, and then I instantly see that zone pulls back. Now, listen here. Zone pulls east, I think it is here. So it pulls to the right, but something that I do here is that I actually go back into my old tarp because I know there's a team right here on our right. There's a team that just built, and if we go into that tarp, we're gonna get stuck and we're gonna be scuffed. But if we go here, we're gonna be on the dead side of endgame zone. So how this would work, let's say I'm gonna try to draw it on the map again, so hopefully this goes a little better. So let's say we have a final zone right here. It's like this, and let's zoom in a bit, just to help us out here. So we go boom, 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 boom. Okay, so this is the final zone, and this zone pulls to here. Let's forget about the mountain. So let's say what you want to do. Let's say you have a full tarp, because the first zone from here to here, right? What you want to do is that you want to go back into this tarp right here, and you want to go here. This is because the storm is kind of like a wall. So here, if you go here, you're not gonna have anybody on your right. But if you go here, you're gonna be in the middle. If you go here, you're gonna be in the middle of everybody, and you're gonna end up dying. So you want to do is that you want to go back into your old tarp, even if it pulls the other way, so you can get a dead side. And this not only allows you to spend less mats, but it's a lot safer. So let's go back here. So here we keep going back, keep going back, keep going back. So here now, it pulls here. And look, my teammates dropped me metal here, and I'm still focused on the tarp. Look, I haven't popped a mini yet. I know that I have 134, but I'm focused on staying ahead. You have to stay ahead as an IGL. I don't need that much help. So here I keep going. Boom, I put a cone here. I don't focus on taking it. And here, they say that there's somebody on their wall. When they say there's somebody on their wall, I know my teammates, they're either going to say a full team on my wall, duo on my wall, or two on my wall, but I hear one on my wall. So I'm like, this isn't really that much of a threat. I'm gonna focus on staying ahead. And look, remember what I was talking about earlier that I didn't stay in the middle? Look, everybody else is up here in this kind of like messy area, and we're here in a completely free layer. This is extremely good. And now here, look at their spacing. They're right behind me. Right again. Look, he even gets into my POV. And here he drops me on my hearts. Look, they're always refreshing me on mats. This is something really important that I don't see a lot of fraggers doing. They're constantly focused on refreshing. I didn't even ask for mats. They just gave them to me. So here we keep going. I break this. Here again, look. But something that I've noticed is that I'm blocking on my left here. A lot of people would say not to block it since it's storm. We have so many mats here. It doesn't really matter. If you don't have a lot of mats, I definitely wouldn't block that. But it's just to play it safe. I know it was what I talked about earlier. It wasn't really wasting mats. But look, I'm going to say it again. Look how free this zone is. Look, there's nobody on us. And we're just full tarping it. You see? Here, I made a quick mistake here. I put floors here. I shouldn't have put floors there. I think it's just in the heat of the moment. So here's popping a med kit. I'm reloading. Be sure all your guns are reloaded. Actually, and then here, I'm waiting for zone. And I see zone pulls far. So here, I see all this loot. Okay. This is something important. So here, I'm in full tarping mode. And I see this, and I try to box over it. But this guy But this kid puts a wall right here. But then the second he puts it, instead of going for this refresh, we have max mats. I can keep going forward, and I just go even more on the left side. Look how free this is. I'm going to say it again. Here, I keep going left. Boom, blocking off our angles. And then I see here that zone pulls a little bit more towards the right. We have to cut in. So what you want to do here is that you want to be allowed to tank storm. I never play heal off since I'm not, if I'm being honest, I'm not the most cracked in our trio. Albert and Inbox have better mechanics and aim than me. So what I do is that I'm not afraid to tank storm. Here, I go and boom, look what I do. I cut every single other team off, and I keep so I can get in. This is because the zone's gonna keep getting smaller to the point where it's only one by one per layer. So you have to cut teams off and bully them off your layer. Here, look, I tank storm. Look how much I'm taking storm. Here we're getting sprayed at by height, but then you might ask, why don't I drop to low ground? Because I'm getting sprayed at by height. This is where I noticed that it goes up. This is actually a mistake I made. I should have gone up the second I saw this, because we had a free layer. I should have just gone up one. Well, I think the reason I didn't do this is because we were getting sprayed at by height, but at the same time, I didn't want to drop because I knew it went up. So I was kind of in this middle perspective, and I still had a shockwave, which I should have calmed. I forgot to do that later. But here, my teammates are holding. It's fine. And then here, look, notice how I cut in again. Cut in again, boom. Here, we kind of I'm just kind of mad here. They just spray, and this, of course, the team takes low ground, which was actually a mistake by them. They shouldn't have done that. But look how I'm double tarping at this point. At this point, we have so many mats, we can just double tarp. And then here, they're just spraying. And then look at our spacing, bro. We're so close together. We are staying together really well here because we're ready to fight. This is the moment we're gonna have to start opening up edits. And then here, I try to go up here now that we actually have to go up, and I get blocked. And I try to take this, but he holds it. And then I'm like, well, we have to figure something out here. So what I should have done here is that I should have told my fraggers to go out left and right, or maybe I shockwave, and then I should have shockwaved up, and we should have tried to fight high. They should have gone out the sides, tanked a little bit of storm, and tried to kill them. But what we did here, it was actually quite messy. Here we get shockwave down, and I tried to shockwave up with Albert. I tried to calm him, and then Inbox was actually supposed to play heal off, but then he gets W keyed. And then I knew that Inbox had all the whites, and he tells it, and then Inbox calms, oh, he died. So I immediately go back here for the body, and I get the finish. Now, I don't know if this was a mistake. You guys can tell me in the comments or not. The thing is, though, I didn't have, any mats, and I was about to die to storm. So I could have gone up to help Albert, but what I was thinking in my head is that it could have gotten inboxes and this kid's white heals, but it ended up working out. I think this was the right play just because I was going to die anyways of storm, so I should have tried to get inboxes finish just so we could get the kill points, and maybe even some whites. I could have played heal off and maybe try to get the win. But here I die, and Inbox doesn't get it. And then Albert ends up killing one at the end here, because I think it's a 2v1, I think. And then he kills one, he knocks one, and then it's a 2v2, and then he ends up dying. But 3v1, I mean, and then he ends up dying. And yeah, that's it. This is just an extra game I didn't include. So a lesson of the day is, first of all, dead side and moving, and when playing low ground, Rift Fish are super strong. You should definitely try to use it with what I pointed here. Also, spacing, knowing when to be separated and knowing when to be really close to your teammates is crucial to success. I would definitely recommend checking that out. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed that video. Make sure you like and subscribe, since, as you can see by this bad boy right here, only 12% of you guys are subscribed. I don't start to pump out weekly content on Fortnite. So I hope you guys enjoyed this VOD review. I hope you learned. If you have any questions, make sure to put them in the comments. I'm trying to answer. This was kind of a in-depth VOD review on what we did in this endgame. But yeah, other than that, I really thanks so much for the support on the latest videos. Make sure you like if you enjoyed the video and if this helped you out. But other than that, I love you all. Peace.